It is a super fun day here at Kettering Health Hamilton. We are celebrating our Employee of the Month, MacKenzie Ferguson. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you were recognized by one of your coworkers for something that you did that you didn't even remember when we came in the room.
No, I forgot.
So you had,
unfortunately.
So administration and everybody walked into the therapy charting area, and did you have any idea what was going on?
No, I thought it was for somebody else, to be honest. So that was a shocker.
So what was fun is we got to surprise MacKenzie. So there was a patient who is here for joint replacement, and anytime there's surgery, especially with joint replacement, there's a lot of instruction that has to go on.
Yes.
And so this patient was here or is hearing impaired, and we were struggling to communicate with that patient. So there's tons of information, and so there's a couple ways that you can communicate with somebody who is hearing impaired. We have a device that does translation called Marty. You can write things down. The individuals can often read lips, but the most effective way is through sign language. And so the individual who recognized you was struggling to communicate with this patient and somehow found out that you did sign language.
Right, yeah.
So tell us, how you helped the patient.
Yeah, so another therapist was working with this patient down on the second floor, and she was trying her best to talk to her through like written word, as well as like the patient was trying to lip read. And it just wasn't all connecting because there's a lot of education.
There's tons of information.
Exactly. She had a lot going on, not only with the new joint, but just a lot of other medical things. So she was trying her best and it just wasn't really clicking. So she gave me a call and said, "Can you come on down here for a second? I know you sign a little bit, see if that works." And I remember walking in and introducing myself through sign, and she just was like, "Oh my gosh," right? And she's like, "You sign?" I was like, "Yeah, a little bit." And I haven't done it in a while, so I was like, "You need to go a little slow," right? And she's like, "That's fine with me." So we talked a little bit, we got a little connection, which is always something that is really important in the deaf community, to really connect with one another. Something that's interesting is when I learned in school, you learn that it's kind of like with English, there's slangs in different locations. So she kind of had a different sign slang per se. So it was nice to really connect on that level. And from there, the therapist was talking. She's like, "Are you okay with taking on over? It seemed like you really connected," and she got the education down. It's like, absolutely. Also anything to practice my sign, right? So we did that, and she was here for, I think, about 2 more days. And we managed to get through all the education, right? She was able to get in and out of car, in and out of a tub, and she got home safe. So I love it, right?
That is awesome. Now, lots of us learn languages in school, but you chose sign language. So why did you choose sign language?
I felt like I always knew what language I wanted to learn when I was younger. I always felt like I knew I wanted to be in the medical field, and I wanted to learn sign language. And so in high school, I was given the option to learn sign language, and I went for it. I did 3 years, and then I continued in college, and I got a minor. So it's nice to be able to put that into use, right, in my everyday life, because that's kind of the goal when you minor in a language. You want to be able to use it.
Well, what a unique experience, not only to bring your expertise as an occupational therapist, but in this case, to be able to impart that knowledge through a unique form of communication that not all of us have. And so in addition to that, I know that you absolutely love what you do. Tell us one thing about what you love working here most about at Kettering Health Hamilton.
I feel like everybody says this, but it is truly, it's the most true. It's the family, that kind of dynamic, the friendship you get, the teamwork. Funny story, when I was a student, I worked in a hospital for like a rotation, and I wasn't the most comfortable or confident. And when I got done, I was like, I'm never going to work in a hospital ever again. And my mother pushed me to apply for this position, and I love it now. I don't see myself working elsewhere, right? It's awesome. I love my coworkers. Even, people that I interact with even a little, they're just so nice, and it's just like a welcoming kind of vibe.
It's sometimes not so much what you do, but it's who you work with that makes all the difference. What's your mom's name?
Karen.
So Karen, thank you so much for encouraging MacKenzie to apply for this job. It was like you knew that this moment was coming up, that it came together in a special way. And in addition to this, it's a real blessing to have MacKenzie here. So
thanks, Mom.
What's one thing that folks might not know about you that's unique about you?
I crochet.
You do?
I crochet. I'm in the works of a baby blanket right now for a coworker and their newborn. I've crocheted like stuffed animals. My mom works in a multi-disabilities classroom. I've made some animals for her students. I've made some stuff for myself, but slowly but surely, I'm getting through it. My mom told me I needed to have an outlet for my stress in college.
Okay.
So thanks again, Mom.
That's awesome. What's one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you could go back in time to high school or in college? What's one piece of advice, knowing what you know now, that you would give to yourself?
It's definitely don't sell yourself short, right? Like I almost cut off working in a hospital after college. And again, if it wasn't for my mother, I would have never gotten this job or applied for this job. So like, take the leap. Don't cut yourself short, right? Go for it. Is the only thing I can say.
So I love it. So thank you so much for being a blessing to our team and to our patients, but most importantly, this patient. And for many years ago, choosing sign language and for helping this patient. So at Kettering Health Hamilton, we get to welcome new life into the world. And sometimes we hold the hands of those when life ebbs away.
Yeah.
But it's the way that we treat people that defines our success. So thank you for being a loving ambassador of healing for this patient and for the difference that you make here. So if you all need tips on crocheting or you want to practice some sign language, hit MacKenzie up.
Yeah.
Make it a great day.
Thank you.